Hey guys, it is Julie here with JT Wealth. In today's video, we are discussing the stock NNDM or Nano Dimension. So let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season. Today we are discussing Nano Dimension, which is a company I've actually been asked quite a bit about on here. Now in today's video, we're going to take a look at the news that recently caused a bit of a dip in the NNDM stock. We're going to give you a bit of background on Nano Dimension and why they're gathering so much attention lately, plus a little outlook into how they are handling this coronavirus pandemic. And just before we get into all of that, this is just your friendly reminder that if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up and let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoy free stocks, make sure to check out some of the links in our description down below. Right now, until December 31st, Webull is giving away 4 free stocks for signing up and funding a new investment account. Now, they do often extend these promotions, but just in case, make sure to check them out. All right, now let's get into Nano Dimension, who is a 3D printer making company from Israel. Trading under the ticker NNDM, this stock has had a phenomenal year, with a 52-week range at 51 cents, and in the last few months, they have seen growth over 500%. This morning, however, we have seen a little bit of a dip, and at the time of filming, we're down about 6.3%. Now, this dip is due to an announcement that came out Sunday evening in regards to a $250 million direct offering, as they announced that they had entered into definitive agreements with investors for the sale of over 33 million of the company's American depository shares at a price of $7.50 per ADS pursuant to a registered direct offering. The gross proceeds of the offering will be approximately $250 million before deducting placement agent fees and other estimated operating expenses. The company intends to use the net proceeds for working capital and for other general corporate purposes and pursuing strategic opportunities, including possible business combination transactions. Now, the closing of the registered direct offering is expected to take place on or about December 30th, subject to satisfaction of customary closing conditions. Now, this is certainly not the first time that Nano Dimension has raised capital through a direct offering. The most recent was another $180 million that closed on December 9th. Previous to that was $60 million closing on December 2nd. Another $100 million closed on November 23rd. A nice $50 million on October 28th. And $16.9 million back on October 5th. So since September, and including this most recently announced direct offering, Nano Dimension has had direct offerings with proceeds totaling about $657 million. So they are accumulating quite the war chest over these last few months. Looking at their stock chart over these last few months, of course there are ups and downs, especially dips following these direct offerings, but clearly none of these dips lasted very long as NNDM has continued to rise week after week. So I think Nano Dimension is certainly making hay while the sun shines. Now let's get further into what Nano Dimension does and why everybody is talking about them lately. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, this company makes 3D printers, such as their Nano Dimension Dragonfly LDM, which is a one-stop solution for agile hardware development and innovative circuit design across a wide array of industries. It is the industry's only comprehensive manufacturing printing platform for round-the-clock 3D printing of electronic circuitry. Nano Dimension is a leader in the highly promising 3D printing electronics industry, and the company has the opportunity to disrupt the massive PCB market, which is the printed circuit board market. They are one of the most interesting plays in the additive manufacturing industry, and the company has carved out a unique space in the 3D printing space by focusing on 3D printed electronics. Now, the coronavirus has actually accelerated the demand for 3D printing technology such as this, as many companies felt the downside of a global supply chain disruption. Printed circuit boards currently act as the backbone of electronic devices, and the PCB market is currently worth around $60 billion. So if Nano Dimension manages to gain even a small foothold in the industry, the company could see far more upside. Nano Dimension is a strong first mover in this emerging industry. In fact, Nano Dimension estimates that it is 2 years ahead of any competition, which gives the company a great deal of room to continue innovating. Although Nano Dimension is still incredibly early stage, evident in its Q3 revenue of $438,000, the company is in a strong position to expand upon its leadership position. And one big lover of disruptive technology is none other than Cathie Wood at ARK Invest, who has had a lot of success in that niche. So it is no surprise that a lot of people will put weight on what companies they see ARK Invest investing in. So helping Nano Dimension gain even more attention is the fact that in ARK's Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF, or the ARK-Q ETF, Nano Dimension sits in the 18th slot there with over 4.5 million shares. Now, with all that being said, Nano Dimension still remains a very risky and speculative stock. While Nano Dimension has a high ceiling, the company is also incredibly early stage. Nano Dimension has only sold about 60 units of their flagship Dragonfly system so far. Moreover, even if 3D printed PCBs are the technology of the future, it may take a while for the industry to transition. Nano Dimension is still a relatively small company and could easily become cash-strapped as the company continues to pour money into R&D. And as I said, they have been doing very frequent direct offerings to raise further capital. At the end of the day, Nano Dimension is heavily involved in a capital-intensive industry that may take years to mature. So it is still clearly a speculative play at its current market cap. However, Nano Dimension's long-term potential could still make the company a worthwhile investment. As I've said before, with any of these more speculative plays, the most important thing is to have a game plan. So understand your entry and exit points, your risk tolerance, and your time frame. Now, of course, this has been a very interesting year with the Roni pandemic and the lockdown. So I also wanted to cover how Nano Dimension addressed the elephant in the room of the Roni virus and how it's affecting their business. Now, they are under the working assumption that the Roni virus will continue affecting business until Q3 of 2021. All of their present customers were out of the office until this summer, and some still are. Most of their customers were in discussions, but were not allowing any supplier visits for maintenance until further notice. Hence, no installations were possible, and many Dragonfly labs were shut down until the virus subsides, with no confirmed date. As far as Nano Dimension's plans for riding this elephant, they said that there is no reason to drill in a dry field. The rich grounds are expected to reopen in 2 to 4 quarters. So they are starting a prototyping and fabrication services business called Nanos, or Nano Services, and they're going to expand Nanos as a revenue generator. They say minimal investments in sales and marketing other than Nanos until everything is over, and to invest heavily in preempt seeds of competition. So there we have a summary of what is going on with Nano Dimension. Now, I know a lot of people are excited about this stock and are expecting some huge growth in their future. My words of advice are always to just understand your risks and plan accordingly. Of course, these videos are never a suggestion to buy or sell any specific stock, so make sure any trade is always made based on your own research and due diligence. On that note, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on NNDM. Is this one that you're invested in, and what do you think the future looks like for them? If you made it all the way to the end of today's video, make sure you give us a thumbs up and that you're subscribed to the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and cheers.